it's about gold digging.
Yeah.
And I experienced that myself. I love women that are honest about why they're after you. And very often it's money, particularly if they're 30 years younger than you are.
What do you mean they're not?
Just saying, George, just saying.
What, he's Kanye all of a sudden, right?
Hey, listen, I think it's pragmatic. And
no one's after me for my money, dude. I work at CBC. Hey, no one's after me for my money.
You look at life, and 50% of my friends, and more of them, are divorced. And examining that process very often is a result of bad financial management. In both ways. Too much of it, too little of it. It's a very toxic potion if it's not managed properly.
So when you
In life, the number one thing that people screw up on is this. They buy stuff they don't need. It's that simple. Go look at your closet sometime. 80% of the crap at the bottom of your closet are clothes you don't wear anymore, and yet you paid for them because you thought you needed them and you wanted them. Imagine if you could turn all that stuff back to cash, or better still, you never bought it. That cash would be in the bank right now, making interest for you, or an investment that pays interest or a dividend. But no, it's sitting at the bottom of the closet, dead money. That's what that is. That's a huge problem. So think about this. Let's say you actually owe $200 on your credit card, and you're passing a hot little coffee spot, and you're thinking about getting a cappuccino for $2.30. Don't do it. Pay off the $200 first. Don't spend money on stuff you can't afford. It costs 15 cents to make coffee. You're paying somebody $2.30. The rest of that could have been used to reduce your debt. That's the whole deal. Don't buy stuff you don't need. Make sure you go through every single month in a way that you respect money, that you somehow pay back. Here's an idea for you, something a little different. When you set out your holiday season, instead of using a credit card, I want you to try something completely different. I want you to take out from your account all the cash you're going to spend on gifts. In other words, make your list, decide who you're going to give to, and let's say you decide you're going to spend $1,000. Go get $1,000, real cash. It's a little bit more, but you get the idea. And you say to yourself, you put this in an envelope, this is what I'm going to spend. I'm not going to put any gift purchase on a credit card. And the reason I like this strategy, and I've used it all through my life, is it's finite. This bundle of cash is all you've got to spend. And it makes you think, how should I allocate it properly? What should I buy? And so when you go through your list, let's say you're married, you think about your wife, you're probably going to spend the most there. If you have kids, you're going to spend there too. Then you get into your relatives and friends. Not everybody deserves to have a whole lot of dollars spent on them. Very often it's the thought that counts.
Well, my problem with this new gen issue is all these condos are what I call shoebox condos. 440 square feet, 2-bedroom or studio and a half, 2 tiny bathrooms, no parking. Pure commodity, square box of cement. There is no value in it to me, anyways, as an investor, other than it's like every other shoebox condo. So why would you make an assumption that, to me, it's a depreciating asset? The building in 10 years is an old shoebox condo.
Right.
And so I think it's worth less.
So why does nobody understand that? Why do these condos keep getting sold? And I'm looking at the signs because, I just moved back from the States a couple of years ago, and I'm looking at them and they're saying they're 90% sold. Why are they still sold? Who's buying them?
Because as I've learned with my own staff in many of these companies, at these, Gen X or Millennium kids, whatever you want to call them, is they don't want to own a car. So that makes a lot of sense. They want to walk to where they work. They want to be part of what's hip downtown in any city. Vancouver, Calgary, Montreal. Montreal condo scene has never been more buoyant than it is. Prices are as high as $1,000 a square foot. I was just looking at some metrics yesterday. And so I think the trend is your friend if you're a condo developer. I question the value long term because to me, a condo is just a piece of cement that gets old and crusty.
Right.
The bathtub's old and crusty and the sink is old and crusty. So why don't you just rent it and get a new uncrusty condo in 5 years?
When rates rise is what you're saying.
Well, when rates are rising, the value of your crusty condo is definitely going to go down. So I don't like that scenario.
Right.
But, I think the best education will be for these people to realize, ouch, that hurt. Once you get stung once, and let's say you lose 20% on a shoebox condo, you won't be doing a shoebox condo again. You'll be renting it.
Kevin, I wonder...
Education is very important because it gives you a chance to do several things. First of all, test your skills in a competitive environment, because that's what's happening in education. You're with other students, you're changing ideas, you're working together, and it's a first for many kids in how to actually work within society. And secondly, it's the
contacts you make throughout your entire career, whether it's just high school, whether it's college, or you go on to postgraduate work, these are lifelong relationships. You may not remember what you studied, but you remember who you met. And for me, I look back and I think of my MBA at Ivy. These are some of my most important contacts in business today. I can call them up, they'll always take my call, they know who I am, we know each other, who we are and what we do in different sectors. Education is very important, but I stress it's not a prerequisite for success. It's just part of the journey.